Hi everyone, here is another portion of my Sailor Moon collection. This video will focus more on the single volume issues for the comics. I got these throughout the years when I was little, so this was before they redid the mangas in the one booklet type of setup. So these are not in order, but I tried to stay in order as much as I could. So let's get started. This is the first issue, and you see Sailor Moon, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury on the front. And on the back, I think that is either Sailor Moon when she's older or her mother's Queen Serenity. I'm not sure. So there's that one. And here is Volume 2, or issue number 2. You see Sailor Moon sitting on the moon with her moon scepter, probably thinking about Tuxedo Mask. And here's the back of it. Serena and Darien is on the back of this one. Here's Volume 3, and again you see all the original Senshi, Sailor Moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus on issue 3. And here's the back of this one. Sorry about the lighting, it's kind of dull, so there's the back of it. Here's Volume 4. And on here you see Sailor Mars and Sailor Mercury. And on the back of it you see Sailor Moon and Sailor Jupiter. You move over a bit, you'll see Volume 10. And on the cover you see Sailor Moon and Mini Moon. And on the back of it you see Tuxedo Mask. On Volume, I can't make it out, I think it's Volume 11. Yeah, it's Volume 11. You see Serena. And on the back of it you see, I'm going to go ahead and say that's her. That's Serena as Neo Queen Serenity when she's older. And then this is Volume 13. I do not have Volume 12, but this is Volume 13. Oops. And then you see Serena and Darien on the back of it, sitting on a moon. And then I have Volume 14, and on the cover you see Sailor Moon. And on the back of it you see all the Negaverse generals: Malachite, Jadeite, Zoisite, and Nephlite. And then on this one, this is Volume 15. You see Serena and Rini, Amy, Lita, Ray, and Nina. And on the back of this you see all the Sailor Scouts. And then the next comic I have is Volume 16, and of course you see all the Senshi, well, most of them. Nina, or Sailor Venus, Mars, Mercury, Pluto, Tuxedo Mask, which I know he's not a Senshi, but he's a good guy, Jupiter, and Mini Moon. I don't think Sailor Moon's on this one. But on the back of it you see Sailor Moon and her future self. Sorry about the angle. I'm holding my camera at a different angle. And then the next comic I have is comic number 17. And on this one, you have all Serena, Ray, Nina, Lita, and Amy. And on the back of it, you have Tuxedo Mask, Sailor Moon, and Mini Moon, or Rini, because she's not transformed, and she's holding her Luna P ball and her time key. And the next volume I have is volume 19, and on the front of it you see Amy, and on the back of it you see Lita. The next volume we have is volume 20, and of course you have Serena, Nina, Ray, Amy, and Lita. And then on the back of it you have them in their school uniforms, and you also have Rini. The next volume is volume 21. And on this cover you have Serena, Rini, Amy, Ray, Nina, and Lita. On the back of it you have Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Pluto, Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, and Sailor Mercury. And then the next comic book I have is comic number 22, I think is the number. It's hard for me to see in this lighting. But you have Sailor Moon, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Mars, and Sailor Venus on the cover of this one, and I don't think oh, and you also have Sailor Pluto. Sorry, I thought that was Sailor Mars when I looked at it. The other comic was hiding the time key. But on the back of it you have Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter, and Sailor Venus. The next comic book I have is comic number 23, and on the cover you see Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. And on the back of it you see their human forms, or their citizenship forms, as Amara and Michelle. I do not know how to pronounce their Japanese names. And then I have comic number 24, and on this one you see Serena, Ray, and Lita. And on the back of this one you see Amy and Nina. My next comic book is comic number 25. The last one I showed you was comic number 24. But on this cover you see Pluto, Uranus, Sailor Moon, Sailor Mars, and Sailor Neptune. And on the back of this, it's not like an artwork, but they kind of showed you on the back of this one the kind of Toonami lineup that was on Cartoon Network. Of course, at 4 o'clock it was Sailor Moon, 4:30, Dragon Ball Z, and another one, and then just the other two shows that I don't... Gundam Wing was after Dragon Ball Z, and then Tenchi, I think the other one was Tenchi. But there's comic number 25. The next comic book I have is comic book number 26, and on this cover you see Sailor Moon and Sailor Mini Moon again. And then on the back of this you see Sailor Moon and Sailor Mini Moon again. This was the comic book cover for, I think, yes, volume 10. And then the next comic book I have is comic book number 27. And then on this one, you see Sailor Moon holding the Purity Chalice. And on the back of this one is Sailor Moon again, I think in older format. Then the next comic book I have is comic book number 28. And on this one you see Sailor Moon. And on the back of this you see Sailor Moon in this the Purity Chalice transformation. And on the next comic book I have, this is comic book number 29. And of course it's Sailor Moon again. And on the back of it's nothing special, it just says smile. And that's how the back of them are the rest of the way that I have. The next comic book I have, is comic book number 30. And on the cover you see Sailor Moon, Sailor Uranus, I believe that's Sailor Mercury, Sailor Mini Moon, and Sailor Venus. On the back of it again is just saying smile. And the next comic book number that I have is comic book number 31. And on the cover you see Sailor Moon and Sailor Mini Moon holding their rainbow wands, and I think that's Sailor Mini Moon's rainbow wand. Yeah. And then I have comic book number 33, and on this cover you see Sailor Saturn. I do have more comic books, and I will add them to the next video because I ran out of room. But this is the first portion of Sailor Moon comics that I have. I will conclude with the individual comic book numbers in my next video.